Hello there. All right, guys, so we are out on the road, and I figured this year's a good time as any to go ahead and break down the Crye SPC that I've been utilizing. This year's been upgraded with a lot of stuff from L4 Performance to include the cummerbund. So stick around and I'll show you what we got. All right, so this right here is the Crye SPC in medium. I am issued out a Crye AVS for work, so the SPC has become more of like my personal plate carrier. I'll kind of start off, top to bottom here on the front, and probably the biggest thing of note here is that the shoulder pads are not really pads. These are more shoulder covers. I will say this here's probably the first thing that I would probably recommend upgrading before anything else. If you have a lot of weight on here, fully out, loaded up like mags and stuff, these right here just do not do the best. I have been told that the Axle Advanced shoulder pads are probably the better ones to get, and I'll be picking up a set of those, throw those on my AVS as well. So just something to note, the shoulder pads, shoulder covers, not the best. As we start kind of like moving down, so what I have on here, so this is not from Axle Advanced, it is a cheap knockoff copy. It was just something I wanted to kind of try out as far as how can I go ahead and attach a placard to this. You've probably heard it multiple times, but Crye does not play well with others. So currently I have this here set up. It's a little bit lower than you would have for like the standard Crye Precision placard things that kind of come with it. I know a lot of guys end up using like the Shaw Concepts placards, a little bit like easier to adjust. I'll probably go ahead and move these right here up a little bit, but right now here's how I'm running it. So I'm just kind of trying to stick with it and see how it goes. The placard that I do have on here, so this here is entirely from L4 Performance. This is the ARS Tango module. I've got a 556 insert in here, their XXSY GP pouch, and then two of the tourniquet pouches. Probably one of the biggest things I like about this is that, I unclip it and I actually throw it on my AVS. So this right here kind of stays the same, and I just rotate it back and forth between plate carriers. Something that is on the ARS Tango is that one, it is tubes compatible, so that's how I have my cummerbund hooked on. But we also have Molly that's like back here. So if you are running this as say as like a chest rig, or you get like two of these, you run it as a split front chest rig, you can weave other pouches like through here. I think this thing here, as far as a placard goes, is probably one of the most versatile ones out there on the market. So moving to the cummerbund here, the Crye SPC, the standard cummerbund that you can buy for this thing, said very rigid, very structured, and also has a plastic tab that will actually go into the space up here, which will kind of help like lock it in place, sort of like a mini AVS. I do got to say though that I think that the slot for that plastic tab is too low. So when you end up trying to actually put that thing on, it'll either keep your back plate exactly in line with the front plate or sometimes even lower. So you'll see a lot of guys, they'll take their cummerbund, they'll actually drop it down to where it's kind of hanging off the bottom of the rear plate bag. But with this one right here, so this here is also structured. It's not as structured as the Crye one, but it still works out really well. And this is a 2-band in the rear, kind of goes to like 2.5 here. And then this is 3-band like up front. And so this here will fit all of like your tall radio pouches. This here's the Crye Inviter water bottle pouch. Will fit that just fine. So once again, this here is the first spear tube compatible. And I really like this. Understand that one, I can definitely still get to this and take it off if I need to. But the way that it ends up like sitting with my tourniquet pouches here is that it's kind of recessed. So I don't feel like I'm losing that space. So if I didn't have this here on there, I just have a lot of like dead space here, and that's just space where I can stick, items that I need to be able to like, get to rather quickly. So I really enjoy this cummerbund. With it being 2 in the back and 3 up front, so what it kind of helps me end up doing is that I don't have to worry about that Crye SPC standard cummerbund with how it kind of like sits with the back plate a little lower. And this right here actually kind of like works out a little bit better. And I actually am able to kind of like angle this down a little bit. So this side cummerbund, it's not exactly straight on my body. It does come down just a little bit up here. But once again, that allows my rear plate bag to ride where it needs to be. I'll also say that on the inside of the cummerbund, so we do have the Velcro portion that's like right here. And so it runs all the way through, so you can attach, soft armor, hard armor. I am looking at getting some of the Ferro Concepts side plate holders just so I can kind of stick those there if need be. But all in all, this cummerbund, really fantastic. I would definitely recommend this. And moving over to the right side cummerbund, so I just have a GP pouch here. Here's normally where I'll end up sticking my NVGs, but I can use it for just about anything else. So on the rear of the cummerbund, I have my extra 2 magazines, and those are there so I can go ahead and, like, you know, pull these here out and reload my placard up front once I start running out of magazines. This panel right here is from Whiskey 24. I definitely recommend this to a lot of folks. There are a lot of different back pouch, like, you know, packs and stuff like that you can get. I prefer to run the back of my plate carrier slick, and that is just so if I am running some sort of ruck or pack. Also helps that we are primarily, as Air Force Security Forces, a mounted force. So just being able to have this here like nice and slim really kind of helps out while I'm sitting in that vehicle. And of course I have the Faro Concepts Roll 1 that is down here. So this here also kind of helps out when you're sitting in that vehicle, helps give you a little bit of a support there for the lower back. With this, I have been utilizing my the Haley flat pack. I don't actually attach it to this. I will go ahead and, like, you know, attach it. So I've got some clips that I end up like utilizing. But recently I got this. This here is the Gunfighter 14 from Mystery Ranch. So this here was issued out to me. So I've actually been running this in conjunction with this pack. So as I remove that flat pack. Something to note, like I said, you know, when you get this, the rear plate, of course, is exposed. That's why I recommend getting either, you know, something like this to kind of cover that up. You can get some of the plate bags, kind of covers here up, but just something to really kind of make sure that your plate isn't exposed. And for the cummerbund, you can see I just have it attached. You know, there's a little bit of like overlap. I've got the shock cord running through it, and right there's a, you know, holding it on like nice and tight, but also does give me a little bit of like play, so I can loosen this up a little bit. And of course, if I have to start throwing, you know, jackets on, it gets colder, very easy to go ahead and adjust this and kind of pull that cummerbund out a little bit. So I hope this helps. If you guys got any questions on the SPC, let me know. Later, guys.